There's an old Zen story where a student approaches Master Ichu, and the student says, "Please, Master, write something of great wisdom." Master Ichu picked up his brush and wrote one word: attention. The student replied, "Is that all there is?" The master wrote, "Attention, attention." Now, the student became very irritable at this point in time, saying that doesn't sound very profound to me at all. I mean, that's not subtle. In response, Master Ichu wrote, "Attention, attention, attention." In frustration, the student demanded, "What does the word attention mean?" And Master Ichu said, "It means attention." Now, for attention, we can substitute the word awareness, mindfulness. Attention or awareness or mindfulness is the secret of life and the heart of the Buddhist practice. But like the student in the story, we find such a teaching amazingly shallow and disappointing. It seems uninteresting, dry. We want something exciting in our practice and in our life. Simple attention is boring. And we ask, is that all there is? It's time for some definitions. Oftentimes, mindfulness, meditation, awareness, and attention, they're all used interchangeably. But there are some important distinctions, and for this sermon, I'll use these definitions. Meditation is a practice. Mindfulness is a quality. And meditation comes in many forms and many different physical positions of the body, from sitting to lying down to walking to standing. Now, perhaps the most widely known method of the Buddhist tradition, primarily Zen, is seated meditation called Zazen. And you've seen pictures, and maybe you do this yourself. You sit, spine upright, cross-legged, your hands usually on your knees in some particular form. Most all meditation involves calming your mind and becoming aware of how you perceive yourself and others. And it increases you toward more mindfulness. That is, you pay more attention more often to yourself and others during the day, and you, at a good outcome, you have more mindful living. But meditation is one of the many, many paths to mindfulness and mindful living, but it's one we'll explore today. So, for today, meditation is the practice of calmness, which hopefully makes you become more aware all the time and can lead you for a more mindful living, maybe. Now, one type of meditation is called transcendental meditation, or called TM, popularized in the United States and the United Kingdom in the 60s and 70s. I had my first transcendental meditation class from a teacher who learned from the Maharishi Mashi Yogi in 1975 in Salt Lake City. And at that time, the technique was, and it still is, it's still in existence, and you can still take a class, even in Santa Cruz, from a teacher. Very rigorous, 20 minutes, 2 times a day, with a secret mantra. So I was given a secret mantra, and like, oh, I forgot it. And so I had to go back to my teacher and get it again. And you don't even, it's whispered in your ear. You don't even say it out loud. I said it out loud once and got in really a lot of trouble. And it was also really expensive. I mean, the Maharishi wanted this to be a really sacrifice. So if you were not a student in 1975, it cost $2,000 to be trained and to be taught. And I paid less than that because I was a poor student. But the whole concept was so exciting for that time in my youth. And the Maharishi promoted this, and they still do. If everyone began to meditate, you would exude calmness, and people around you are affected by this. And so eventually, if we had seeds planted all around the world would become more peaceful. That's what I believed in 1975. Now, there's no denying that in my life and in the high point with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and stuff, Transcendental meditation was a fad, but not all fads are bad. I've derived personal benefit from my intermittent meditation in my life, and it's evolved over the decades. And I do believe I'm more mindful because of my meditation practice. But I've mellowed a lot since 1975. Had you known me then, I would have told you how fantastic transcendental meditation was. And I would not have stopped at my testimony. I would insist that TM was your guaranteed path to reduced anxiety, to reduce depression, overcome addiction, overcome your confusion about life, and even being overweight. It was an answer to everything. And he was not alone in my enthusiasm, which was a national trend during those decades, continues to today. But meditation now and then was still considered a benefit for everyone. Now, our culture is always looking for an easier way, a quick fix, a universal cure. Go to Amazon and just type in self-help, and you can peruse through thousands and thousands of books. But George Carlin says it this way: if you're looking for self-help, why would you buy a book written by someone else? Our society is no longer based on working hard for our way to success, but it's based on finding the easiest way to our goals. And those goals, unfortunately, are often implanted into us by outside agencies. Meditation for universal increased mindingness is a case where the enthusiasm is way ahead of the evidence. I'm not saying that meditation for more mindful living is bad. It's just not for everyone. There are some cases where meditation produces very negative effects. Sitting alone with your own thoughts of self-awareness can be quite dangerous if you're struggling against self-harm. I mean, after all, meditation practice was not intended to make us healthier or happy or less stressed. It was designed to assist us in diving deep and challenging who we are or who we believe we are. Now, if you're struggling with self-identity to begin with, a deep dive into more awareness can be very horrible. Too often we forget that diving deeply into yourself can be dangerous territory, albeit a rewarding journey if you can handle it. A real problem in assessing meditation is the lack of scientific rigorous study. And it's very subjective in many aspects. And after studying objectively is very challenging because we have now 50 years of our culture believing of the universal benefits of meditation. There are some brave folks who have trying to objectively assess the claims of meditation. Miguel Ferraris and Catherine Wilhelm in 2015 published a book called The Buddha Pill: Can Meditation Change You? In that book, they examined and searched for any kind of data or supporting evidence that justified the claims of meditation. And the data in their analysis is far less than conclusive. Here's a quote: there is moderate evidence that meditation affects us in various ways, such as increasing positive emotions and reducing anxiety. However, it is unclear how powerful or long-lasting these changes are. Written like a true scientist. They are also right that we are not objective in our assessments. They write, for the secularized mind, meditation fills a spiritual vacuum. It brings the hope of becoming a better, happier individual in a more peaceful world. However, the fact that meditation was primarily designed not to make us happier, but to destroy our sense of individual self, who we feel and think and we are most of the time. That's overlooked in the science and media stories about it, which only focus on the benefits. So the book basically says that there is no conclusive scientific evidence that meditation does or does not work or achieves its promises. So, is meditation good or bad? It depends. It depends on you, your situation, your past experiences, your ability to practice regularly, your emotional stability, and several other factors. It depends. And isn't this true for anything that our society says is good for us? How many trends have promised to improve your life? Increased vitamin D, probiotics, yoga, Pilates, kale, pomegranate juice, acai, jogging, weighted blankets, which I've never understood, CBD in all forms, copper bracelets, kombucha, diets. It depends. It depends on how it suits you. And this is a fine time to turn to religion and spirituality. What religious beliefs is best for you? The Unitarian Universalist answer is it depends. And this is our Unitarian Universalist niche in the religious world. We can accept and embrace the mantra of it depends. What belief system works for me may be poison for you. My belief in a higher power may be incomprehensible to you. Your belief in angels may be incongruous to someone else. But here, we do not ask everyone to agree on a creed nor a dogma. We ask, no, we encourage you to decide for yourself. And we honor your choice of personal beliefs, even if they change. We are a religion based on rational thought, honoring personal experiences and an openness to inquiry for discovering different truths. We are a religion that continues to evolve because we don't agree on everything. And just like meditation and increased mindfulness doesn't positively impact and benefit everyone, we shouldn't force it on others. We should be content if we find something that helps us. Your opinion on car makes, clothes, toothbrushes, vegetarianism, they're yours. Be content with your opinions if they suit you. But we should never believe them as absolute truths applicable for everyone. And we should not impose our beliefs as the best for someone else. I hope, and my prayer for all of us, is that as we continue to and try to improve ourselves, as we continue to try and make the world a better place, we do so with a mindful awareness that our beliefs are only ours and that others need to find their own. Amen. And blessed be.